Hey there, wonderful learners. Welcome back to the Education Exploration Hub, your cozy corner of the internet for real-life English, natural conversations, and stress-free listening practice. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Dylan. And hey, if you're just getting home from work, lying on your sofa, or maybe staring out a window wondering where the day went, you're in the right place.
Seriously, you could be doing a million other things right now, but you chose to hit play on an English podcast. That's not nothing. That's actually a really big deal.
It really is, because look, maybe your plans for this year feel a bit messy. Maybe you don't have everything figured out yet, but your listening practice, that's on point. And honestly, Soph, you sound extra calm today. Normally, you're buzzing with energy.
Yeah, well, to be real with you, Dylan, I've been feeling a little lost myself lately. So today I told myself, don't pretend everything is perfect. Just show up and be honest.
I get that completely. I have those days too. You know, you do your morning routine, you brush your teeth, you make coffee, but inside you're thinking, what am I even doing? Where am I going?
Exactly. Like your feet are moving, but your heart doesn't know the direction. And we know so many of you listening feel this way too. Life keeps moving, time keeps passing, but inside you feel stuck, confused, or just unsure.
That's why today's episode is important. Not just for your English, but for you as a person. Because we're talking about that feeling of being lost in life and how that feeling might not be a failure. It might actually be the beginning of a new chapter.
Yes, and we're going to do this slowly. We'll share our own stories, talk about this feeling in plain, clear English, and give you small, gentle ideas to try, so you can start seeing this lost moment in a kinder, softer way.
But before we go deeper, we have a tiny favor to ask. If you enjoy learning with us here at the Education Exploration Hub, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps other learners find us and join our little community.
And we genuinely love to hear from you in the comments. You don't have to write a long essay, just one sentence. Something like, I'm your name from your country. One time I felt lost was when... We read those messages, and they don't just help us understand your English level, they help us understand you.
And when you write that sentence, your brain has to choose words, build a sentence, express a feeling. That's real practice, not just listening and forgetting.
Okay, let's also talk about the English level for today so you feel safe. This episode is around a B1 level. That means the language is clear and not too fast, but the ideas are a bit deeper and more emotional.
Yeah, it's that sweet spot. Not super simple, not super advanced. It's that comfortable middle place where you can understand most of it and still learn new things. And if you're a strong beginner, stay with us. You might not catch every word, but your ears will get stronger.
This is a safe episode for you. Think of it as a bridge from easy English to more natural, real English. So wherever you are on your English journey and your life journey, you're welcome here.
And because we're word nerds, we're going to play with some bigger vocabulary today. We'll explain important words naturally inside the conversation, so you don't have to keep pausing to look everything up.
Then, at the end, we'll do our calm word tour. Slow down and go over the key vocabulary again with simple examples, just for you.
All right, take one deep breath with me. Short breath sound.
Breathe in and out. Okay. Let's start talking about that feeling of being lost and see what it might be trying to tell you.
Sophia, have you ever had one of those moments where you suddenly thought, wait, is this really my life?
Oh, absolutely. I can still see it like a little movie in my head. It was a few years ago, on a completely normal Tuesday morning. I was sitting in my car outside my workplace. Normal job, normal day, normal coffee.
Right, so from the outside, everything looked fine.
More than fine. It looked perfect. Stable job, good hours, nice coworkers. My parents were proud. My friends said, wow, you've got it together. So, on paper, perfect.
On paper, but inside...
Inside, I was just sitting there holding the steering wheel, and I didn't want to open the car door. My body was still, but my mind was shouting, I don't want to go in. And then I thought, is this it? Is this how the next 10 years will feel? Wake up, drive here, go home, repeat?
That's such a powerful moment. That thought, is this it? It hits you like a wave.
Exactly. And in that moment, I knew something was off. I wasn't on my real path. I was just a little off course.
I had a similar moment, but mine felt different. For me, it was like walking inside a giant maze. You know those tall green hedge walls where you can't see over the top? I kept turning left, right, forward, but every turn just made me more confused. In my head, I kept asking, am I doing the right thing? Or is this just the path I fell into by accident?
That picture is so strong. Everyone around you walking confidently, and you're just bumping into walls, turning in circles. And the hardest part? Everyone else looks like they have a map.
Yes, that's the loneliest feeling. Everyone with maps, directions, a 5-year plan, and you're just standing there with empty hands. No map, no idea.
But here's what I've learned. That uncomfortable feeling, the I'm stuck, I don't fit feeling, is actually important.
Important? How?
Because it's a signal, a quiet alarm from inside you, a little wake-up call from your heart saying, hey, something is wrong here, something needs to change.
It hurts, though.
It really does. It can make you cry or feel empty, but it's also powerful because when you finally stop and ask, wait, what am I doing? Is this really my life? That's when clarity can begin.
So it's like standing at a crossroads, 2 or 3 roads in front of you, and for the first time you see that you actually have a choice.
Yes, and often it's not because you made bad choices before, it's because you listened to too many other voices and stopped listening to your own.
Let's talk about those other voices for a minute. Parents, teachers, friends, coworkers, even strangers on social media. Everyone has an opinion about what you should do with your life.
It's like standing in the middle of a busy market and everyone is shouting advice at you.
Exactly, and after a while your brain becomes that market. So much noise, and slowly your own voice gets quieter. You stop asking, what do I want? And start thinking, what will make them happy with me?
I remember my family WhatsApp group after I finished school. Every aunt, every uncle had a different plan for my life.
What did they say?
One said, be a doctor, it's safe. Another said, no, engineer, that's the future. Someone else said, business, you can earn a lot of money. And there I was, staring at my phone, thinking, does anyone want to know what I actually like?
That's so real. So many people talking about your life, but not really listening to your heart. That's why I love the idea of an inner compass.
An inner compass?
Yeah, we all have a small compass inside us, not made of metal, but made of feelings, your heart, your gut, your instinct, and that compass quietly points to what feels honest for you. Maybe creativity, maybe freedom, maybe family, maybe service.
But if that compass turns just a few degrees away from your true direction, not a big turn, just a little one, then after a few years, you can end up miles away from the life you actually wanted.
Exactly. You wake up one day and think, hold on, whose dream am I living? Mine or someone else's?
That was me when I was in university. I didn't choose my major from my heart. I chose something that sounded impressive. In conversations, people would smile and say, wow, that's a strong choice. You'll have a great future.
So outside, it looked like you were winning.
But inside, I felt like a robot. I went to class, took notes, passed exams, but there was no spark, no joy. Years later, I had the degree, but not the passion, just confusion and this quiet feeling of regret.
That's why it's so important to stop sometimes. Just stop and check your inner compass. Ask yourself a simple question. Am I doing this because I truly want to, or because I think I'm supposed to?
That one small sentence can change the way you see your whole life. And when you slowly turn down the volume of those outside voices, your own voice becomes a little clearer again.
And then something new comes in.
Yeah, the thing most of us try to avoid.
Uncertainty.
Let's talk about that big, uncomfortable thing, not knowing what comes next. We humans really like plans, don't we?
We love plans. Calendars, to-do lists, 5-year plans. It makes us feel safe when we know the next step. And when we don't know, our brain gets nervous.
It's like when your internet stops for a second. That little loading circle just turns and turns, and you feel impatient.
That loading feeling is a lot like uncertainty. You're between two things, the old and the new, and nothing feels clear yet.
But here's the gentle twist. Uncertainty is not always the enemy. Sometimes it's like an empty room.
An empty room?
Yeah, at first it feels strange and cold, but it's also a space where you get to decide what to put inside. I really felt that when I left a job that didn't feel right anymore. I didn't have a perfect plan B. I just had this heavy feeling. I can't stay here.
So from the outside, it probably looked like a bad move, leaving something safe with no clear next step.
People around me said, "Are you sure? That's risky." And honestly, I thought, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm being silly. But then the next few months were surprisingly quiet and deep. I walked more, I read books I'd always wanted to read, I tried small new things, and for the first time in a long time, I listened to my own thoughts.
So it was like stepping out of a noisy party into a silent garden.
Yes, at first the silence feels uncomfortable, but then you start to hear your own heartbeat again, and little by little a new direction started to appear. Not in one big moment, but like the sun slowly coming up. First it's dark, then gray, then you see shapes, and then the colors come back.
That's the strange gift of uncertainty. When things aren't fixed, we become curious again. We ask better questions. We try small experiments instead of running on autopilot.
It's still scary, for sure, but it's also the space between the old life and the new life, like a bridge you have to walk across.
So if you feel unsure right now, maybe it's not proof that you failed, maybe it's just proof that you're standing on a bridge. You don't have to see the whole map of your future. You just need to stay open and curious and trust that something new might be growing quietly in that in-between space.
And to even guess what that something new could be, you have to look at what really matters to you.
When you say what really matters, Sophia, what are you talking about exactly?
I'm talking about your values, the simple things that are truly important in your life. Not your job title, not your exam score, not how many likes you get. Values like family, freedom, learning, kindness, health, the big things that make your heart feel right.
So you can ask yourself, what 3 things do I deeply care about? If everything disappeared, what would I still want to protect?
Exactly. Often when we feel lost, it's because we quietly walked away from those values, step by step, without noticing. I had a season like that. I was so busy trying to be productive, ticking boxes, answering emails quickly, doing all the tasks that I stopped doing things that made me feel alive.
Like what?
Like writing in my journal, taking long walks with close friends, having slow, deep conversations. Those things always gave me energy, but I told myself, no time, no time.
So you were doing a lot, but not doing the things that made you feel like you.
Yes, when I looked back, I realized I had drifted away from what made me, me. My days were full, but my heart felt empty.
And when you slowly walk back to your values, even in small ways, things don't suddenly become perfect, but something feels more honest.
Exactly. You might still feel unsure, but at least you're walking in a direction that matches your heart, not just your schedule.
And once you have a sense of what really matters most, the next step is not some big dramatic change. It usually starts with something very small.
Yes, this is where micro goals come in, very small goals that still count.
Micro goals, like baby steps for your life.
On some days, I didn't feel like doing anything big, so I made my goal tiny. Just write 1 sentence today, or just go for a 10-minute walk. Not a whole book, not a marathon, just one little action.
I really connect with that. I had days where my only goal was get out of bed and drink 1 glass of water. That was my big win.
And you know what? That is a win, because that one small action gave you a tiny sense of progress. And progress, even a few centimeters, builds momentum.
Momentum is like the push that keeps a bicycle moving after you start pedaling. We often think change must look like an elevator going straight up. But in real life, change is more like stairs, small steps, one by one.
So if you're feeling stuck, don't wait for a huge movie moment where everything changes. Start with one tiny friendly win today, something so small that you can actually do.
And even when you start taking those small steps, some days still feel heavy. That's when people become really important.
Yeah, support changes everything. When you felt lost, Dylan, did someone help you?
Yes, one of the best things I ever did was send a real message to a friend. Not the "I'm fine, all good" message, the real one.
So you told them the truth, not the polite version.
I wrote, "Hey, I feel really confused about my life right now. Can we talk?" My finger was shaking before I pressed send.
I understand that feeling. Your finger over the send button thinking, is this too much? Am I being dramatic? I thought all of that, but I sent it. And when we talked, he didn't try to fix my life. He just listened. He said, I get it. I've felt like that too. And suddenly, I didn't feel crazy or alone anymore.
Sometimes just knowing that one person understands you, that one person is quietly there on the other side of the phone, makes your feelings less heavy.
That person could be a friend, a teacher, a family member, or even an online community, like this Education Exploration Hub family listening right now.
And when you share your journey with someone, something else happens. You start to feel more accountable. That means you feel responsible to show up because you know someone believes in you.
So if you're listening right now and feeling alone, maybe this is your sign. Maybe tonight or tomorrow you can send one honest message. Something simple like, hey, I'm struggling a bit. Can we talk? You're not weak for needing support. You're brave for asking for it. It takes courage to say, I can't do this all alone.
And when you ask for help and you take those tiny steps, something beautiful slowly appears. Your own lost and found story.
I love that because we usually wait to feel proud only when something big happens, passing a big exam, getting a new job, moving to a new country. But there are so many quiet moments that also deserve love and respect.
Like the night you didn't give up, the morning you got out of bed when you felt empty, the day you pressed play on this episode instead of scrolling mindlessly.
Yes, we remember our mistakes so clearly, the things we did wrong, the chances we missed. But our brave moments, we forget them so quickly.
Last year, I started something small. I called it my Lost and Found Journal. Nothing special, just a simple notebook. On one side of the page, I wrote down moments when I felt stuck, sad, or confused.
And on the other side, you wrote what you found in those moments.
Exactly. On the other side, I wrote what I learned or discovered later. Sometimes I found patience. Sometimes I found a new idea. Sometimes I realized, oh, I met an important person during that time. When I looked back, I realized I wasn't just lost. I was changing, growing, becoming a different version of myself.
That's such a beautiful picture, like your life is a little lost and found office. You lose something, but you also find something new, strength, wisdom, courage.
Maybe today you can think of one time you felt lost and ask yourself, what did I find there? Maybe you found a new friend. Maybe you found more courage. Maybe you found the strength to start again after a hard time.
Those moments are worth celebrating, not with big fireworks, but with soft kindness, a small smile, a deep breath, a gentle thought. I'm still on my way, and that's enough for today.
Honestly, saying that gives me goosebumps. I think both of us needed that reminder too.
And we hope you felt something meaningful in this episode. Maybe a new idea, a softer perspective, or just the comfort of knowing you're not walking alone.
You know, Sophia, we used some pretty big emotional words today.
We really did. Let's slow down and do our calm word tour. Just a few key words with simple examples.
First word, heart to heart. A deep, honest conversation, not small talk. Example, I had a heart-to-heart with my friend about my future.
Next, regret. A sad feeling about something you did or didn't do. I regret not starting English earlier.
Uncertainty. When you don't know what will happen next. There's a lot of uncertainty in my life right now.
Curious. When you really want to know or learn more. I'm curious about life in another country.
Drift. To move slowly without clear direction. He drifted away from his real goals.
Momentum, the energy that keeps you moving forward once you start. When she studied a little every day, she built momentum.
Breakthrough. Big progress after struggling. After many tries, he had a breakthrough in speaking English.
Accountable.
responsible for your actions. I feel more accountable when I study with a friend.
Mentor, a person who guides you and helps you grow. My English teacher became my mentor.
Milestone, an important step in your journey. Finishing my first English book was a big milestone.
Detour, a different or longer way when the normal road is blocked. His career had many detours, but each one taught him something.
Goosebumps, small bumps on your skin from strong emotion. Her story gave me goosebumps.
Perspective, the way you see or understand something. Talking to my grandmother gave me a new perspective on life.
Autopilot, doing things without thinking, just habit.
He was living on autopilot.
And finally, crossroads, a point where you must make an important decision. She felt she was at a crossroads. Should she stay or start something new? If you didn't catch every word, it's okay. You can listen to this part again slowly. And if you want a small challenge, choose one word and make your own sentence. Say it quietly in your head or be brave and write it in the comments.
That's like sending your English brain to the gym, but a calm, friendly gym where everyone is learning together.
If you're still here with us at the end of this episode, we just want to say we're proud of you.
Really, we are. Whether you feel lost, slowly finding your way, or already walking on a new path, you showed up today, and that counts.
Yes, and if this episode helped you, please tap like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might feel a little lost right now.
Thank you for spending this time with us. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Sophia, and you've been listening to the Education Exploration Hub.
Stay kind to yourself, and keep going, one small, gentle step at a time.